So yesterday was hard. Today might be harder. Tomorrow might be even more difficult than it was today and yesterday. But you're still here. You're still fighting. You're still pushing. You're still standing. You, the survivor, you, the fighter, you, the champion, are winning the day. Getting out to bed was challenging. Talking to family and friends was challenging. Finding mood and reason was challenging. And yet, you've answered the challenge. You've beaten it. You've succeeded. But your work is not done. If you're a person who is thinking of harming yourself, don't. Don't. We need you. Tomorrow needs you. 1 month from now needs you. 2 years from now needs you. A lifetime, we need you. And with 3 numbers, you can continue the same survivor fight, the same push, the same drive that got you up. 3 numbers, 988. Don't got to give them your name. Don't got to tell them where you are. You simply need to make a phone call and have a conversation. You simply need to just have a conversation. So before you make a decision that you can't live with, I'm begging. I'm pleading. Please make one that not only you can live with, but that those who love you can live with. And get help. Now let's talk football.
Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back.
Welcome back, Pride Nation. They tried it today. They was like, hey, you're mandated. And I was like, hey, it's ice everywhere. To the house I shall go, and to the house is where I am. Let it be praised that I found a way up out of that BS to come and talk some Detroit Lions football. I am too excited to get down and get some things popping in terms of this Detroit Lions team. And you may be wondering, well, what's with the thumbnail? Every thumbnail has a purpose to what I'm going to discuss. And there's a reason for that. The reason for that is followed by a line of logic that is directly tied with the Lions defense. And the man who is in charge of seeing that that defense improves for 2023. So, what's on the agenda for today? Talk about a few headline news things, get that out the way that people want to clearly get my view on. I'm with it. Secondly, I'm going to look at a little film. I know that there are some critics of mine who believe that if you look at anything that's of the broadcast, that's not film. Because if you don't have the R22, you're not really watching film. Yeah, to you people, I say, if it's on tape and I can see it, it's film. I ain't never heard no police officer say because a video was not on CCTV that it's not film. I've never heard, not once, a person who went into court and heard a judge tell the person who had a cell phone video of something that was wrong, be told that that is not video evidence. To you people, I will pray for you. And to those of you who are ready to just take a second of their time to just be able to say, you know what, let me see what's popping, we will get into it. Again, I'm about peace and love and happiness and soul grease, you know, and that's what we're about. So let's see who's in the building with me today. This might be a little bit shorter show. All right. And for those people who've been following me from yesterday, my first gen Pokemon, we won the day. Yeah, team first gen. Shout out. Yeah, my son down there right now trying to figure out how he gonna have to re-up to get the win. Nonetheless, I'm happy I got it. Vast Starwind is in the building. Chrome is in the building. My man Detroit B is in the building. Lions Rumble 81 is in the building. My man Nolan, I'm always botching his last name, but it's Patella. I hope I said that right. Is in the building. Perry Ball is in the building. My man, friendly neighborhood Lions fan, is in the building. Makai Holt is in the building. Beanie Siegel is in the building. Let me see what we got. D-Map Zoom is in the building. JT Massive Purpose is in the building. Crimson Shadow is in the building. Will K is in the building. Lions Fans Express, who has a YouTube channel that I'm asking people to show love to and support. Even though if it means I got to take this one down for him to get the people, hey, let's get this man some love, man. One Den, one Pride, one Nation. Let's get it done, man. Come on. Let me see. We got my man's Jacob Burnley in the building. We got Chopper Trav in the building with the yays on. I see you out there, brother. We got not a Lions fan, but those Pistons. Chap Ready Jets is in the building. We got Dr. Pepperoni in the building, and I make sure I hit on every single person. I'm pretty sure of it. All right, first thing first, let me quickly go through this. Everybody's want to talk about, oh my God, what does it mean because Ty Wash left the Lions and went to the Carolina Panthers? Good riddance. That's what it means. It means good riddance. It means so what? When everybody was ready to fire Dan Campbell, I explicitly talked about two people. If you could start off with one, it would be him. That is not a loss. Who did he make better on our D-line? I'll wait. So there's my take on that. I don't care. He can bounce. I don't care. The job of the head coach and the general manager is to maintain a competent coaching staff. I believe they will do that, but I don't care if Wash left. Bye. Bye-bye. You did me a favor, if anything. So, cool. Save me the trouble of having to fire you. All right. Next thing I got to talk about. Let me bring it up because, it's better when we can have a visual aid. I'm finna get a little patty today. Only because I need to address this. And it irritates my soul. But I need to address it. Last year, when the Lions were 1-6, a number of media outlets who now act as if though they didn't talk about this stuff or this wasn't a talking point wanted the head coach fired. And I was like, for what? You fire coaches when their side of the ball don't perform. And people thought that it was a joke or it was a game or something. And the whole big talk was fourth downs. And he's going for it for too many fourth downs. And I told people, in football, you have 4 downs. And I've never understood why in football, when you have 4 downs, you never used all 4 downs. Because the only time you get upset is when it don't work. And when it works, well, you're a freaking genius. But I believe that there are things that I find funny. And I know what some people are going to say who go back and replay game and who are going to be in here today. They're going to argue that, well, this is not my culture, my team, or whatever they're going to come up with to justify them being wrong. But nobody has a problem trying to be right. So let's get into it. I see a few more people jumped in. I'm going to hit those, and then we'll get into what I'm talking about. Motown Football is in the building. What does it do, brother? Tactical Puma 58 says, I think I know where this is going. Yeah, it's going to get real freaking petty. I don't know why, but nobody's really talking about this because it doesn't fit the narrative that they know going to get clicks. That's what that is. My man Jack Frost is in the building. Says, what's up, Luke? Welcome back. Welcome back, brother. Rumble, are you going on the stream with Luke today? I'll put it out there and see if I can get him in here. Right? All right. Let me just go ahead and get into this. Notes, Dan Campbell amongst NFL's most aggressive coaches again. How funny this is. Really? He's amongst the most aggressive coaches. And this is a guy that everybody wanted fired. This is the person that people wanted out the building. They did not look at everything in full context, and it was other parties who was pushing a narrative that I think was downright egregious and criminal. And yet, it went unchecked. Now, here's the thing about this. When people talk about this, they often talk about how dumb he is as a coach. And he's a stupid coach and all this other stuff. And all he do is go for it on fourth downs. And it's been games where he went for it on fourth down and I had to defend him. And there's been games where he didn't go for it on fourth down and I chewed him a new one because I'm like, you should have went for it, right? But here's the thing. I pointed this out a long time ago that there were a number of other coaches who did the same thing and people didn't want to hear it. So I decided to take a look at it because the most aggressive coach to go for it on fourth down was who? The Philadelphia Eagles coach, Sirianni? Interesting. But you know what I didn't see on the Phillies media? Where people going after the Philadelphia Eagles coach for going for it on fourth down. But wait, Luke, they had one of the league's best records. They got Jalen Hurts over there balling. Woohoo! Funny how that works. And then you go and look at McDaniels from Miami, followed by Smith from the Falcons and Kingsbury from Arizona and LaFleur from the Green Bay Packers. And we know that one of them at least got fired. I think two of them got fired. These two got fired, if I'm not mistaken, right? But what was different between these people getting fired and the coach that went for it on fourth the most? See, hindsight is always a beautiful thing. Emotions should not move your attention from what is really the reality. And going for it on fourth down is not a bad thing. You see, I want to know where was the energy at for these people? Where was the pitchforks and flames and everything for Sirianni? Where was it at? Where was it at for LaFleur? But Luke, Packers fans and media was going after LaFleur. Were they? Were they going after them like we were going after Campbell? But Luke, those teams didn't start off 1-6. Oh, I got it. So what we do is we go after the guy because he started off 1-6 by sole purpose of our general manager forgetting that for the last, 4 freaking years, our defense has been hot garbage. I can even argue the past 5 to 6 years of a hot garbage defense. We don't talk about him. And I'm wrong for bringing that up because the moment I bring that up, I'm out of line. I'm not being fair. I'm just talking out my butt and my neck and my ears and every other crevice y'all could think of. And the reality is this to me is an indicator that not only should you get used to it, but you need to learn to accept the fact that your head coach started a beautiful trend. A trend that many coaches just said, why the hell not? In fact, I saw an interesting stat that showed where Jalen Hurts on fourth down and 1 almost was 100%. And on 4th and 5, he was between 70 or 80%. And the difference was the calls that were called up to get the play worked. I didn't see anybody talk about firing them. Didn't hear anybody say, get rid of these people. And the funny part is this. So Smith didn't get fired. I thought Smith got fired. I couldn't remember which one it was. But thank you, Mr. Higgins. The reality is, you look at these two different narratives. You start to see something. You start to understand something. All of these people in that group that you see, and if I scroll up and just look at the top 10, Vrabel's in there, I can't ever pronounce the dude's name. Cleveland's head coach, Buffalo's head coach. Just look at the top 10. O'Connell. Teams are deciding that it makes more sense to go for it. And look at the teams who didn't do it. Let's go down to the teams who just is like, nope. What do you know? The Jets didn't do it. Bill Belichick didn't do it. Right? An opportunity was there for you to take it. Hell, we even had a chance to close the game out on 4th. And he did it. This is the difference. You're going to notice outside of Tomlin and Belichick, for the most part, these other damn coaches wasn't really doing so damn well. This one got fired. Hackett gone. Jeff Saturday should have never been the head coach. Lovie Smith is fired. Just look at it. Just look at it. Take it all in. And we go back up. We go back up. We just look at where our people is at. And we all feel good about it because now we're 9-8. And there were a number of games on that stretch that he went for it on fourth down where it was absolutely probably not a good time to go for it on fourth, and there was nothing to be said. So I brought that up to say this to you. Keep that same energy. Because the truth is, the Lions went 9-8, not because of head coaching issues. No. It was because our defense was never really explored. It's because our general manager felt that we can get by with math players. You realize that the highest pick that's been added to our defense came once we end up going so bad that we had the second overall pick? That's the highest pick you spent on defense. Everything he's done has been to prove that Jared Goff was not a bad draft pick or idea by him when he was with the Rams. I just decided to go in that direction before I go and talk about some football. Because next I'm finna talk about a guy whose name I cannot pronounce. I've tried. I'm going to need your help. If you're wondering who this is number 62 is from Baylor. And I think you pronounce his name Ika? Saiki Ika? Saiki Ika. I probably am destroying that damn name. I probably am. But why am I breaking him up? I'm tired of hearing about him. And I think he might be the most overrated player that Lions fans are asking to have. And I don't know what your love affair is with him. I don't. I do not see it. I'm literally just going to pick one game, right? Shout out to DP Gamer who made the clip and cut it up and everything. Great, you know. But I'm going to do a reaction to what I'm seeing, and I'm going to do this so I don't get my ass kicked off. But I want people to at least just try to stay with me on this. This is not a small man by any stretch of the imagination. All right? I want to make sure I'm clear about this. Nothing about this brother is small. Like I'm telling you, it's just he's just not small. All right. And somebody brought this up too. I forgot. To the people who found out that we signed cornerback Mac McCain, yeah, he's on a tryout basis. Good luck. Let's just pray for him. All right. But back to my man's. Nothing about him is small. All right. I'm telling you, this is a big dude. I need to drill this into your head for a reason. So when I get into this, I don't need to have you ask me any more questions or say, hey, we should look into this guy and stuff. And to the people who like this player, to the people who like what he's bringing to the table, this 6'3", 350-pound monster that many people think you can get him in the second or third round. I just want you to understand something. That this is not the person you want to draft. He's not. He does not fit what we are really looking for. And if we do draft him, well, I'll be doing a whole lot of heavy praying to make sure that we can get the best out of him. This is not a small person. One of the things you're going to hear about this person is he is powerful. And I went through a bunch of games. I just wanted to see what the patterns were, what were the trends and everything. And I landed on this one because I think this one displayed what I've seen the most. Right? Let's face our eyes right here on this big boy right here. Look at him. Just as huge as they all can get out. Oh, look at the big boy. Now, I want y'all to remember something. He's 350 pounds. He's right here. He's 350 pounds. And I did not just see this in this game. I've seen this repeatedly. They talk about how much power he got, and I'm just telling you, this might be the most overrated player that y'all are talking about. If you watch the highlights, I keep telling people this. Highlights make everybody look good. But he's 350, and he's right here. So let's just see what happens in this play. Blockers, get off me. Wait. I know I ain't just see that. Yeah, you serious, right? Like, this is who y'all want. And this ain't just this game. You show me where Vita Vea gets you hit like this head up and you just get to bounce out. Look at this. He had time to prepare for it and everything. It's not just this. He lacks effort when it comes to plays, or maybe he's just not athletic enough. But after taking a guy like Aleem McNeil, I would like to see more of that and not this. And we're talking power. And I want you to keep in mind, who are the running backs that you're going to have to deal with just in your division with A.J. Dillon, with Aaron Jones, with Devin Cook, and whoever the Bears decide to add in free agency and draft. I just want you to take it all in. I can't just keep showing it, because if I do that, I get copyright and I get banned. And I don't want to get banned because them 90 days hurts. My spirit dies when I can't do this, and I want to make sure I can. But I want you to take it in for a second. He's right here. I'm not asking him to be Superman. I'm not asking him to be Vincent Wilford. But don't tell me you want this guy on your team. But Luke, he cleared 2 blocks. The blocks never made the block. The running back finished the job of a failed offense. Let's go back. I just want to drill this home to y'all. Well, Luke, that's not fair, man. Oklahoma State, I don't care. He essentially wasn't blocked. They literally like played patty cakes with his chest, and then he had an opportunity. Let me get out of here for a second. I got to play by YouTube rules. This doesn't make sense, people. This ain't it. This ain't how you do it. This ain't where it's at. I just wanted to get this out of the way so we don't have to talk about this no more. This ain't the answer. And I know, Luke, it's one play. That's not fair. Butterflies and sticks and nah. We got to do better. We got to be better. We got to be better and do better. And the reason it's that way is because I want you to understand that that's not just that game. If you were to go through and literally look at it, snap by snap, you're going to see a lot of missed tackles. And I mean a lot of missed tackles where he should have them. And my issue is, if you ain't pass rushing to the quarterback, then damn it, you better be a run stopper. And there's a lot of games where he's very good at just pushing. No second or third move. Counter, what's that? Oh, you mean those things that we put our like toasters on in the kitchen? Love them. This guy name keep getting sent to me, and I'm trying to figure out why. Where does he fit into what we do? If you ain't paid attention, our D line is athletic. And we need to keep that way. We need to keep it with that stuff. CIQ. Okay. Can't pronounce nobody damn name to save my life. Just saying. See, IKEA. All right. Just put it out there. This is not a guy you want. Oh, trust me. Motown football, we going to see some people today. Y'all should have been paying attention. We going to talk about some people today because I'm tired of hearing certain names. I'm telling y'all, I ain't looking at nobody who don't fit what we need for this team. And when you send them to me, you need to explain to me why. You need to tell me why. I'm about to get real petty today. I know y'all got some people that y'all love, but I'm going to need y'all to explain to me why. I'm going to need y'all to explain to me why. This guy right here, let me put him back, because for the people who don't want to hear, might be the most overrated player in this draft. That y'all want. I would, at best, I would spend maybe a 6th round pick on him. Just to see what he can do. But with the amount of tackles that I saw this man miss, even that to me is that's a tall order. We're talking number 62 from Baylor, IKEA. I think I said that right. All right. I'm merely doing this because I told people that, hey, let me just put it out there. I'm just putting it out there. This is the guy y'all want. So we're going to go and look at another part of this game. Because if that wasn't enough to anger you, if that wasn't enough to say, oh, okay, this shouldn't happen, I want to show you a play that would be considered a positive, but in my opinion, it's still a negative. And yes, I'm a snob for this stuff because the little stuff become the big. The little stuff becomes the big. And when I'm looking at these players, I'm not falling in love with names. I'm not falling in love with schools. I'm going to look at you closely, and I'm looking for the little stuff. You do the little stuff right, the big stuff going to come. But what I can't do is take another damn message about this goddamn D tackle from Baylor. I can't do it. We got to put this to bed. We got to put this to bed. At the Jalen Carter, in my opinion, is Pittsburgh number 8, Chancey. What's going on? All right. Give y'all another clip because it's going to be a positive. And somebody's going to come in here and be like, oh, you got it all wrong. He was supposed to do that because he's supposed. Yeah, I hear you. I hear you. I don't know if you've been paying attention, but this thing called football is about performance. And I'm looking for people to make plays in position to make a play. You go and look it up yourself, watch as much film as you want, and take a look at this guy who goes by the name IKEA. But I don't even know how to pronounce dog's name. I'm sorry. Then again, I botch everybody's damn name. So to be fair, I'm just telling you the truth. IKEA, whatever. This is a guy that everybody keeps sending me a message on. This is not it. This is not where you start at. This is not how it's done. And the only reason I'm pointing this out is because when I look at a player, I'm looking at patterns. So let's get back into another section of his game. Let's just go through and look at it. Big dog up here. All 350 or 358 or whatever you want to be. He big as hell. It's all right here. And by all accounts, this should be a positive play. But in college, this is a positive play. I'm thinking pro. If I was doing a college player review, I probably have a different opinion. But since I don't talk college football other than when it's time for the draft, this is what you get. Please focus your eyes right here because they talk about this power. And this irritates me because with all that power, it needs to be some grace. He's going to dog walk the hell out of this guard, and it's going to be for naught. And not because what the quarterback does, but because he doesn't even reach his hand out when he's in the vicinity of the QB. He just wants to show that he can push him back. Let's take a look at our gentle giant right here and just see what happens. Yeah, let me get this. Yeah. Okay, let's go back. Clearly. All right, I want him. Yeah. Let me go back a little bit. Sometimes things is hard to see. Once you look at number 95, you can see his glove. He wants to reach out and touch somebody's hand. He wants to grab something. But not this guy that I keep getting messages about. Not this dude. No, I just want to hug on you. Yeah. I'm going to watch him run by. Where the hell the linebackers at? Don't tell me, oh, he's only supposed to take up space. Don't tell me that. Don't tell me he was only supposed to take up space. I don't want to hear how he was only supposed to take up space. I don't want to hear that. At this point, my man is fighting for his life. The quarterback don't looked over here. He thinking about check downs. Dude up here got a little guy back there, no biggie, but he thinking about check downs. And he fighting for his life. At this point, you can literally do a counter move by pulling him up and ripping. You can do something as simple as pulling him up and swimming. I'm not going to say he can spin. He's so goddamn big, it's not going to work. But something needs to come at this point. Oh, well, Luke, it's easy to freeze it right here and say what he's supposed to do. What about now? What was he supposed to do here? There goes his damn arm right there. And if that's his arm, that's his hand. So what about now? You ain't even got a counter at this point. If you reach out, he's scared and bumps into the guy number 95, who hand, by the way, is out. And that's the guy I literally counted. I got 30 messages about about how good he would be as a second or third round pick. And I'm thinking, okay, what are we doing this for? What are we doing this for? Look at this. What are we doing this for? His one mistake led to this. Y'all ain't paying attention. I'm trying to, I'm trying to take the horse to the water, but I can't make you drink. His ass had to be closed. I don't know what the hell was going on. He's right there. He's right there. Perry says, can't tackles be coached up? Not when you just missing blatant tackles. Think about this. Why would you draft a player that you have to now teach how to just do one of the most basic things you learn for football? How to tackle. And not only do I got to teach him how to tackle, who you think we had to teach Ndamukong Suh how to tackle? I'm just asking. This is not the guy that you want. This is not the guy that y'all should be sending me messages about. Find somebody who's athletic at the position. Find them. Find somebody who's athletic at the position. Because I think if you do that, then it makes more sense. And the reason I'm showing this is because I want people to no longer reach out to me about this player. Talk to me about a lot of people, not him. Not him. Not him. Not this one. Not this man right here from Baylor. I don't want to hear it no more. We done with this one. I don't want to hear it no more. I don't care if you call me a hater. You go and you look at it for yourself. All right? You go and you look at it for yourself. Let me put his damn name in the chat because I don't know how to Sakahakiyaki. I can't pronounce his damn name. It's gonna take me a while. This ain't it. This is not what we should be doing. This is not the answer to our defensive tackle issues. I said I wanted somebody up the middle, not somebody up the middle who's going to allow itself to get trucked and miss a bunch of tackles, who's got no counter move, no athletic ability. And the moment the play gets past him, he's done. Just think about what Jordan Davis offered and tell me if you were stuck having to pick between Jordan Davis and this dude, who will you take? Because I'm pretty sure you're taking Davis. And if you were stuck looking at a guy and saying, well, I need somebody to take up space for the linebacker, well, how do you do that when all he's going to do is push? And we got one more person I need to put on the goddamn list. And one of them, Motown football was paying attention, but we about to make some people upset with the next one. I just got to give you a few more examples so I don't have to hear this no more. And by the way, I'm not hand-picking these snaps. This stuff is happening in the exact order you see me showing it. What's going on, my man's Mr. Mike Kimber? It's in the building. What up, though? Now, Perry Bar, I pick up what you're saying. You're saying, you just asked if he could be coached up. I'm with you. I just don't think we got time to play this game. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like not saying that that he couldn't be coached up to be better, but at this point, I'm not. I got people telling me they want him in the second and third round. I got to teach you how to tackle. I got to teach you how to have a second and third move. I don't know if I can roll with that. I don't know. I don't know if I can roll with that. But I want people to stop messaging me about Mr. Saki IKEA. Oh, please, Mike, don't even get me started on Mr. Daxter. Trust me, he's coming down the pipeline so I'm not even doing film studies on these people who don't meet a standard that I respect. Don't even get me started on Daxter, though. Daxter got some issues that I'm going to address, but I'm going to focus on what this guy is right now. I just want y'all to take it in. Like, I'm not trying to destroy the guy. I just don't think that he's a guy that we should be looking at. Now, I'm trying to make sure I don't get no copyright. This is the exact same play. I want y'all to see it from a different angle. He's right here. A different angle. He's right here. He has full control over this guy at this point. All right? Full control. Oh, sorry. He's right here. There you go. Even right here. Oh, I don't skip too damn far. Wait a minute. Let me go back. Even right here, he got full arm extension. He dog walking him. Quarterback ain't paying no attention. Do a counter move right now. Boom. Right now, do a counter move. Boom. He saw dog come off the move. Okay. At this point, let him go. Because even if he had to just threw his hands up off the guy and reached out, you can probably get a freaking penalty. And that counts for football IQ. To show you I'm not making this up, watch me I'm just going to skip to a random spot. Just a random spot. Let me get over here. All right, let me get just a little bit more. All right, I'm just gonna skip. I think if I'm not mistaken, I looked at all this stuff, but I didn't even timestamp anything. We're just gonna look at the play like it's our first time. You know how that first time happened, you wasn't sure it was gonna happen. You didn't know if it was gonna be right or not. This is one of those moments. Let's watch what happens here. See? They had to highlight this to show what he can do. Boom. Ah, yes, baby. Show me a counter. Ah, baby, yeah. Yeah. What did you want him for? What did you want him for? I see more effort from Levi Onwuzurike on a play like this than this dog. I ain't trying to be funny, but let's skip a little bit further. This will be the last one, then I get to the next victim. Because that's what they are at this point. I'm tired of getting messages about these people. Oh, way too far back. Come on now. All right. Big dog right here. All 350 plus pounds of him. Right here. We just want bodies at this point. Reach out and touch somebody's hand. Get something. Just something. I'm not. You controlled him because he went blocked down. But why did you? Okay, now look. Get back out. If you still want to play with him, you want to touch on his chest. This ain't it, people. All right, this ain't it. The next person I'm about to bring up, I'm about to take a lot of heat for. Don't care. Don't care. Because this needs to be talked about. And to make sure I don't get banned, I got to give it a few minutes. So I got to talk it through my stuff. So what's the difference between a 1 tech and a 5 tech? It's where they position and how you want to utilize them. Their assignments is different. It's a number of different things that they stand out. However, it depends on what your scheme is and what you're asking them to do. For me, having him as a 1 tech is cool. I mean, but it's not cool when I could just run past you. It's not cool when I can run through you. It's not cool when you're missing a bunch of tackles. You're the closest to the damn ball. How are you the first to miss the tackle? When you do that and you bring a player in that does that, it puts more stress on the linebackers, will push more stress on your secondary. And I'm not looking to do any of that stuff. Don't make sense. Insider told me Levi is done and could be let go with injury settlement. After the fusion, I knew he was done. I knew something was wrong with him when they claimed that he was healthy and he couldn't make the field. I knew something was wrong with him when we took Pascal and added more people trying to find more linemen. I knew he was done. It was just a bad pick. It happens. But we can't talk about the general manager doing that because how did he know he's going to be hurt? He knew he was hurt when he came out. That's how. It's not like it was just new news to him. But everybody wanted to fire the guy who had the number 1 offense at the time. Got it. Got it. The next person I'm finna talk about, I know it's gonna break a lot of y'all hearts because y'all gonna swear up and down. You just a Spartan. You was a biased Spartan. You such a Spartan. I know it's gonna be. I know what it's gonna be. I know what you're gonna say. I know how you're gonna play it. You're gonna swear up and down. I'm just hating on him for the hell of hating on him. That's what you're gonna say. But shout out to Iceman, the boss one, for just bringing us this little bit of footage. I was very excited because this person, woo, y'all love y'all some people from this damn good state. And I'm not mad at you at all. So let's get into it and I'm gonna go ahead and get my disrespect going now, because people are gonna swear I'm a hater. Right? People are gonna say I'm hating. I want y'all to understand something. After watching all these clips, I decided to choose this one because Michigan beat Ohio State. So I decided, you know what? Let's take the game that they beat them in, and we can talk about it. And while there is some good going on here, I still wanted to be able to point out some things. Some things that I saw in the other film that was just pattern based. That was just like, hey, okay. And again, here's a guy that I'm getting a lot of messages about that, hey, man, we can get him in like the second or third. I don't know why everybody think you could just add these damn D tackles in the second or third and we're going to be all right. But I'm sorry, at 18, if I'm sitting up there, I'm taking Kansas if I have to, right? It depends on what you do with that first one, right? So that's not the point. Just stay with me. To you people who keep telling me about Mazi Smith from the University of Michigan, please stop. Please stop. Don't send me no messages about him no more. Okay? Because some of the things that I'm seeing with him is he is about as much of a D tackle I would want to see as much as I would want to see my grandmother naked. Right? Like nobody wants this. Nobody's asking for this. This is not something we're desiring. And this is not a guy you should desire. This guy is right here, Mr. Mazi Smith. Okay? This is very important. And don't tell me that this was his assignment. Please, spare me all the excuses. Just take it in sometime. You see that little blue line right here? That little blue line? I want you to take a second just to focus on that blue line. Okay? Because that blue line represents the line of scrimmage, right? It's like to show you, like, hey, where's the line of scrimmage at? Like, how's this? This is it. This is the blue line, right? And we're looking at my man, Mr. Smith, right here, who all of a sudden everybody think that every player from Michigan is about to be liquid gold. He's right here. I want y'all to tell me when he crosses the line of scrimmage. Oh, let me go back. All right, let me see. Let me know when he crossed the line of scrimmage. But Luke, he made the play. Let me know when he crosses the line of scrimmage. But Luke, he used a counter move. You see, did I remember I told you about the little things? The running back was going to go outside, but this beautiful soul pushed him back in. And dog did use a counter, but that man had no push on what was clearly a running down. What was a clear running down. Well, Luke, you don't know if it's a running down. It's 1st and 35. I ain't finna try to get all my yards back on a 1st and 35. I'm going to still run this thing. This is college football, not NFL. And in case you think I'm wrong about the 1st and 35, it's highlighted here. He never crossed the line of scrimmage. And the guy just ran into him. He did it. He did some good things. But my D tackle must be able to push the pocket. Let me know when you see this man move the line of scrimmage. But he made the play, Luke. Okay. I require a certain level of competency that I'm probably not going to get. Let me know when the hell that man crossed the line of scrimmage. And what was one of the games that people talked about. Now, I never even considered him a pick 18. But I had a lot of people message me and say, hey, he's worth a 2nd to 3rd round pick. And I'm thinking, okay. Say what you want. Now, again, I'm keeping it a little bit of a shorter show. I'm still going to drop the link in there for people who want to jump in. because I got to make sure I don't show too much, or they're going to get to talk about copyright. So I don't need the stress and don't want the headache. But I want you to understand that people just don't get it. The link is now in the chat. Feel free to jump in and talk to me. But understand that I'm only talking to you about our head coach and his ability to be judged for going for it on fourth down, and other coaches don't get that kind of disrespect. Understand? I'm only going to talk to you about these two deep tackles that I keep getting messages about, okay? Because those are the two things that I want to focus on, that I want to drive home because they need to be done, okay? And this is the reality, that many of these players that people are talking about that they want, that people are saying that they like, just are not added up. When I get to the tape for the people that I really like, you'll love that. But no more of these messages about IKEA from Baylor, number 62. No more of these messages about Manzi Smith. I know you like the guy. He's probably a great dude. He's probably really nice and fun to be around. But I saw a lot of times where he didn't move the line of scrimmage. And I saw a lot of times when he did move the line of scrimmage, he was lost in the sauce. No real second or third move. I saw a lot of times when it was like a short yardage play, he couldn't even just hold his ground. So I'm just putting it out there. If you jump in, you want to talk about it, we can talk about it. But we're talking about these two particular draft prospects, IKEA and Manzi Smith. I got a guest in the building. My man Crimson Shadow is showing up. Crimson, what you got for the people?
Food.
I ain't mad at you. What are your thoughts on it, man? I'm not trying to be mean to these
Oh, yeah,
players.
I'm not against what you're saying. Really, a lot of times, from what I've been seeing a lot of reports on, the D tackle position this year is pretty weak, all things considered. So, like I said, I'm not against what you're saying. At first, I liked what I saw. I liked the build on Sika, but then once the film started coming out, I slowly started going, nah, I ain't good. You may be the size of an IKEA Sika Ika, but if you don't have the Sean Rogers ability, then
I mean, listen. Sean Rogers, as big as he was more athletic than this dude.
yes,
And they were probably about the same weight and size.
yes.
Like I want to almost go and look and see what was Sean Rogers like actual measurements when he was here. And I'm telling you, I wouldn't touch this dude. You see what I'm saying?
I get it. Absolutely, I do. Once, people started showing more film, I was like, okay, I'm starting to get it now. And it's like, okay, well, it's looking more like I might go Osiris Torrance than an 18 at then. Because, okay, see if he's actually 18. But I don't think Kansas is going to be there at 18.
Let's say he's not there. That's not the problem. The problem is when people are evaluating these people, they need to stop looking at highlights.
Yeah.
If you can't get the all 22s, just go and type in like the person's name and then just put verses and see what games come up. Actually, or sometimes you might be able to just type in something like, say something like Michigan defense versus, and that'll get you a look to see what's going on. All you're trying to see is when I'm focusing on you, what are you doing when all eyes are on you? Right?
I get that. And think about it is with highlights, I do look at the highlights, but that's only because of one reason. I want to see how you got those highlights because I will judge you even on highlights. Like wide receivers and cornerbacks, because I'm looking at like, okay, how wide open were you? I'm like, oh, yeah, that's a highlight. And then I'm going to check your film afterwards, get my attention. You know what I mean? Because there's some positions you can kind of pick out those plays and be like, okay, that's really not that great,
Sean Rogers, 6'4", 350 pounds, and Ika, whatever his name is.
His name's Sika Ika. He's Samoan.
Sika Ika.
There you go.
Is 6'3", 350 to 358.
Yeah, very, very similar.
And they look different. They move different. The whole, everything is different. I was way excited when we had Sean Rogers. I'm not excited if we got this other guy. And then on top of all that, we have to be able to say, you know what, these players that people are trying to push and trying to find answers for, they're just not it. Not at this juncture, not at this point of the process. If I was running a traditional 3-4 and I needed him to come in as a relief guy, maybe Ika, whatever his name is, but Mazzy Smith,
you got it that time.
Mazzy Smith, I'm just.
If he's not big, he looked more like, when you showed the film, he looked more like an edge than he did a D tackle the way he was.
But okay, so let's say hypothetically you make him your edge, right? Right, you make him your edge. At that point,
I'd rather just draft an edge.
What draft pick are you taking? And if you're going to take an edge, right, just take a draft the edge if it's that serious. I'm going to personally trip on you if you do, but still.
Yeah, exactly. And all things considered, I mean, Mozzie Smith, if he's not the guy, then again, you can go later in the draft. You might go for a Jacob Slade. I don't know. Try to if you're going to go that late. It's already a weak D tackle position, so we might have no choice but to develop a guy we think has got potential, like the diamond in the rough. And I'm certain there's guys like that in this draft.
And I'm sure there are some people like that in this draft as well. But my problem is when I'm looking at the names that people are giving me, I had a very simple rule. Don't send me nobody that don't fit a position we need.
You said athleticism. Do you want to hear about our Lord and Savior, Tyree Wilson?
Nope, because I'm not talking about Tyree Wilson. I'm talking about the two players I'm talking about. I'm talking about Mazzy Smith and Ikea. I ain't talking about nobody else. Because at this point, if you're taking a defensive tackle, which in my opinion, I give them credit to people who are sending me these people's names because they are still thinking of the interior guys. I get it. But even with the interior guys, I'm telling you that those guys, even though they're the interior people, I'm telling you that, hey, we have to be able to do some things a little different. And I want the more athletic person because having the more athletic person does make a difference. And when you look at Aleem McNeil, he's more athletic. If you kick Pascal in there, he's more athletic. I'm not taking the guy who just takes up space. If I'm doing that, I could just go back and get Bugs. I could just go back and get Bonito, who's just gonna take up space. I don't want that. Excuse me. I
understand that. So I mean, like you said, if you're gonna take a chance on him, you take a chance on him in the 6th round. There might be a possibility depending on how his combine goes. I mean, looking at him, he's not athletic. He might just drop. Like I've been seeing him on PFF. He's been dropping ever since.
Yeah, you know me. This is a PFF don't get no love from me.
I know you don't get no love, but
they just suggested some stuff that's not there. I'm just sticking to the two people at the two positions that people keep asking me to look at, and I'm like, okay.
at least they're doing the positions that at least we're all on pace. We need a D tackle. At least it's not, completely crazy like last season.
But the difference is when you look at who they're sending me and you look at what's out there, it's not adding up. So in this particular clip, I'm mind y'all people, I'm just skipping, right? I've watched most of this stuff. I've had opportunities to look at some of this stuff. On all 22s and some of the angles, I was like, yeah, I don't really like that. But I'm just telling you something's different. So my man's is right here. All right. And what's the first thing that stood out to everybody? I want y'all to just look at the freeze frame. And what's the first thing that stood out to everybody?
Right on the blue line. Okay.
All right. So he on the blue line. Which is what? The line of scrimmage. All right. Let's just watch. Secondly, look at who's the last out of their stance.
Yeah, there it is. He's not getting up fast, is he?
So, still at the line of scrimmage. He's last out of his stance. Watch this. They do what they call a combination block to get up to the linebacker.
Oh.
So now the linebacker's block, and he quick passes it out here.
Oh, if
right?
you're a D tackle, that's not supposed to happen, man.
But I can understand they want to do it like that. The problem is if this was a run, and the reason I'm showing you this because they coming back to this exact same formation and style of play, they actually called a run and run it this way time because they knew they could turn them out, and they turned them out completely away from the play. I should not be able to see his numbers.
Oh god, they're pushing him right off too. If he disengages and then tries to jump to close the hole, he could do it. But is he going to do it?
But let's say I skip up. I'm just skipping, right? Right. I'm just gonna skip up. I'm trying to get it to time up at a certain point. I'm just skipping.
Just be careful not to get copyright, man.
I'm trying my best. So shout out to this person who decided to drop this video for us. So I can look, But look at this. He right here.
Yep.
All right. This could be a positive. It could be a negative. You be the judge, right? Treat this like this is your first time seeing it. I'm looking at patterns. I want you to watch where the blue line is, right? Which is an unofficial line because we know the ball is just a little bit ahead of it, but don't give a crying, okay? Just watch. Could be a positive, could be a negative. Let's just watch and see what happens. Let's just see what goes on here. Who's the last one out of their stance again?
Yeah, you think he'd be better if he's standing up?
No.
No? Okay.
Who's the last one out of their stance again?
Mozzie. Everyone else. I mean, could this be a drawn up plan or is this just
already move? He gonna beat him. Now he's off. Now watch. See this?
Okay, he does do the counter. Okay.
Get a hold.
Hold. Yeah, he would have got holding in the NFL.
He would have got a hold in the NFL.
Yeah.
But I want you to go back to a very important part of my conversation, which is that damn blue line.
He's the last one coming through.
Now, just skipping around. I'm just skipping around.
I'm looking around. He looks like he's almost having trouble just in single coverage. What's going to happen if he gets double teamed? Is there any video of that?
All right. Here's my man's right here. Blue line.
Okay.
Blue line right here.
Right on the line.
Now, mind you, I slowed it down for the people.
Okay, yep, there's the double team. Yep. He's getting bullied up.
Watch this. Somebody's going to say, but Luke, he drew three people. No, they sent 3. It's 5 blocking. This is already got to be a problem.
Yeah.
He ain't got nobody to block. So his first objective is to find the nearest person and take him out. He over here having the time of his life, like in the movie Dirty Dancing. He's having the time of his life, right? And so he just said, you know what? I got to come back and find somebody. That's fine. You sent 3. But look where the hell he's still at. And don't tell me he's got to keep contained. Stop playing.
He's not got any. He's just sitting there. He's not trying to spin around.
He's getting double teamed. Wait till I show you the film study of Cansey from Pittsburgh.
I do like Cansey. I remember seeing him against West Virginia. He was a beast.
Look at this. Everybody else is past the damn blue line but this dude. Then this happens. Let's skip further. No matter of fact, I'm gonna skip backwards. Let's go back just a little bit. Just a smidge. Dog right here. I just want y'all to go and look. I ain't asking y'all to do nothing special. This will be the last one that I got to talk so I don't get no copyright. Just look at it. This could be another one of the plays where he's going to probably make a play. You're going to probably see some good things here, right? Right?
Okay. Pushes, disengages, but still getting. I mean, was that holding?
No, there ain't no damn hold.
No, there's no. Yep. That's a fair call.
And he didn't even split this double team. The guard saw him coming, popped his ass with the left hand. Bam. He gets bullied. Paul number 5. Ball is out.
Yep.
But the most important thing I want you to look at is look where all of this starts at, right? And this is why they let him ride. The quarterback had options. He could have stepped up and ran here. You ain't got to beat this one dude, but he's going to look here and throw it there. So I'm asking you again, to you Michigan fans who think that because I like the Spartans and I'm a hater, I'm asking that you just ask this question.
To be fair, if you were biased, you'd be telling us draft Jacob Slade. He's underrated. If you were that biased.
No, I'm just saying if we these are the names that keep getting sent to me, and I just don't get it. I don't get it. I don't know why we asking
I
this.
mean, I get the Sika Ika thing. I get the build. It's tantalizing until you actually look at the tape. I was
good question by BD Buster, who says, "Isn't a lot of this coachable?" His stuff is a little bit more coachable than what Ika stuff is, right? However, I don't know how you coach aggression to get off the line of scrimmage. I don't know how you can, you could probably coach him to kind of get off the snap a little bit faster, maybe. But one of the things that I wanted you to see as I skipped around and looked at this was a lot of it was just him being tired, or a lot of it was just him just being like, okay, this ain't a down that I'm going to go hard on. And I'm not saying that he's not going hard. I'm just saying that in most of these cases, these are the people that are being sent to me in masses. I got so many people who are clearly biased Michigan fans who talking about we need to take this guy in the second or third round. I'm just like, what? Like, what are we doing? What are we doing? We take him in the second or third round? No. Like, come on. We can't. That's not how it works. So, off rip. I wanted to show y'all these two. So I can dead this now. You go and watch the highlights. If I were to show you the highlights, you would think this dude was absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing if I were to watch the highlights. Right? He's a phenomenal guy. Many of y'all are going to run and go and look at stats. Many of y'all are going to run and look at stats. So let me just go ahead and get this crap out the way. At 6'3", 326. Okay. In 3 years at Michigan, he's got a half a sack. 3 years at Michigan, he's got a half a sack. And 6 tackles for a loss. And you want him here for what? If you're going to do stuff like this, just bring back Benito. Bring back Bugs. But do not bring up these damn names to me no more. I don't want to hear about them. Okay? I just don't. All right? All right, I got a few more minutes. At this point, I would allow for you guys to ask me any question that you want pertaining to draft or free agency, right? Feel free to jump in and ask me any of those questions right now, but I really wanted to focus on those two. I didn't want to come in and get sidetracked with the other people, but listen, at this point, you go and watch it. These are two names that kept coming up that people just kept telling me about, and I'm like, yo, we doing this? we really doing this? Okay. There's one other person who I think is a little bit better, but I got concerns about him too. Somebody mentioned him earlier, but he ain't got enough tape because he stayed hurt. But there are some people putting a first round grade on him. Like, the hell? Going back and get that Michigan D line. Oh, it's so good. No. So, right now I'm disappointed. I'm disappointed because y'all not sending me people that are looking like game changers. All right. And I'm looking for game changers. So any questions that you have for me, feel free to post them in the chat or jump on the show and talk to me about it. It says, Luke, who you want with our first pick? Oh, and what up, though? What's going on, C. Perry? If we're stuck at 6, I want a quarterback. That's what I want. If we're stuck at 6, I want a quarterback. I don't want to hear all these conversations about, oh, well, we don't need no quarterback. Jared Goff did good, blah, 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 blah. Unless you're prepared to extend Jared Goff for the next 4 to 5 years, I don't want to hear about it. We can get a quarterback next year. Do you think we're going to be in a position to get a quality quarterback when you're probably going to be picking in like maybe the 20s? If you feel that if you trust your general manager that much, then hey, kudos to you, and I get it. But if your answer to that question is no, I don't trust it, then you take the quarterback now.
So how do you feel about what Adam said about Kancey possibly being picked number 6? Were you like outraged by that one, or are you like, okay?
Who been picked at 6?
Kancey.
No, I'm not doing that. If I'm at 6, I'm taking the quarterback.
Okay, just checking because Adam was saying he was worth that. I was like, huh. Interesting.
Yeah.
But
I'm not. You got to understand. I really don't care who we take as long as they come in and perform. But my issue is this: you are in a position right now that you can take a quarterback, and even if you don't play him right now, guess what? Many people are still going to fall in love with him because he's going to have a minimum amount of playing snaps. But in those minimum amount of playing snaps, he's going to show all these great things that happens every year, and then people are going to get in love with him. And let's say, for example, next year comes, and all of a sudden you decide, you know what, maybe I want to move on from Jared Goff and I want to do something a little bit different. Then move on from Jared Goff, and you still got this guy. If you want to take another quarterback, you can. I don't care. Or maybe you can trade this guy to move up to get the quarterback you really like. But what you can't do is just go out and risk taking somebody who can't have immediate impact. I'm not doing this stuff no more. You got 4 picks in the top, 80-something?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I need 3 freaking starters out of that. And so that's how I'm looking at it. I'm taking people that I believe gives me an opportunity to have some type of value down the road. BD Buzzer says, are you doing your own thing for the draft, or are you going to be on Dan's channel? I haven't figured it out just yet. I know next year I'm going to be down there. I will be down at the draft. Yeah. So, and hopefully, God willing, I will be doing something different for a career. So we'll see what happens with that. But yeah, I haven't decided yet. It says, come on, Luke, you don't want Smith. What about Noah Sewell? You gotta love him. Laughing out loud. Sorry. Yeah, we haven't gotten to linebackers yet.
It's an interesting class. I mean, Drew Sanders, Jack Campbell.
I will tell you this, though. I will tell you this. It's funny to me how people want certain players, but then don't see how they are closely related to certain players. Like, I'm not trying to be funny, but if you look at Noah Sewell and you look at Jared Davis, there's a lot of similarities.
Misses tackles.
There's a lot of similarities. So I'm, but hey, we'll get into that when I discuss linebackers. I'm just trying to make sure they don't put no ban on me. You feel me? But yeah, I see what you're doing there. Luke, would you be mad if we picked at 6, or should we trade back? The ultimate goal is to trade back. Get out of there. If you can find some kind of way to trade back, like if they were to say, hey, we're going to trade back. So let's everybody wants to keep bringing up the Panthers, but let's just say we do the Panthers. We trade back to 9, get the Panthers pick, and the Panthers give us their first in next year's draft. Okay, I'm excited.
Like
you can throw me a 4th this year, a 1st next year, and whatever. Obviously, we'll get more than that, but I'm just saying, okay, cool, but just get something for next year.
Shoot, you don't even have to trade to the Panthers. The NFC is just starving for QBs. Like, seriously, how many teams need a quarterback this year? You got the Panthers, you got Atlanta. Shoot, you might even throw Green Bay in there, Tampa Bay.
I don't care who do the trade. If you can trade out and get a king's ransom for it, I would be ecstatic for that. But if you
Tampa Bay trades and gives us their future first, I would love that. Keep the gravy train moving.
You can hate me now, Mackenzie. He says, Luke, Osiris Torrance is definitely a game changer. That boy a beast. I like a lot of things about Torrance. I like Avila better. Torrance could probably be the better player, but when I look at the 2 players, Avila I just like better at this point for a number of reasons. Avila can play center, guard on both sides, and tackle on both sides because he's done it. That's great value. That's great value. And one of the things that I use to measure Torrance and Avila, who is from TCU, was their games against Georgia. And I rarely saw Avila get dog walked to the quarterback. And I saw Torrance a few times just kind of get a little overpowered from Jalen Carter. So, but Torrance, very good player. You ain't gonna get too many complaints out of me with him. So if we took him, I ain't gonna be mad because he got to be better. then Skipper, and Big V. Do you think taking a quarterback in the later rounds, especially since last year quarterback failed? Brock Purdy. Only reason Brock Purdy failed to the 7th round like that wasn't because he was just like this absolute bad quarterback, because he was grossly inconsistent. I liked it Brock Purdy when he came out of college. I thought he was okay. I didn't think he was worthy of a 1st or 2nd or 3rd round pick, but he was okay. And I think when you look at these people who are able to find them quarterbacks, you have to look at what's involved in that. Kyle Shanahan is a good coach. The team around him is decent, and they run the ball vigorously. In fact, they ran the ball so damn much that I don't even think he even had a 300-yard passing game with them, because he wasn't forced to do so. He was told not to lose the game and to manage it. And so to me, I can't follow that model when I just look at it and say, hey, if you're going to take the risk of taking a quarterback later, right, which you can do, you have to now weigh that option to say, if whatever quarterback you're taking in rounds 2, 3, 4, or 5, or 6, or 7, are they better than what you could have had at quarterback at 6? That's the only question I have to ask myself.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that, just in the sense that, I mean, look at the Cowboys' history when it comes to quarterbacks. Troy Aikman, 2nd-round pick. Tony Romo, wasn't he like a unrestricted, like a just a pickup off the street?
but those were all different circumstances that I believe were kind of different, because
Prescott, 4th-round pick.
But the team was already built.
Yeah.
Right? So if you're telling me the team is already built, then okay, then have at it. I would disagree with you. I would.
The offense is pretty built.
Again, only if we stuck at 6 will I take him, right? But you have a lot of people projected us to take 3 offensive players this draft, and I'm just like, what? Like, if it was me, and I got I'm taking a quarterback from stuck at 6, and at 18, if he's still there, I'm probably taking me a corner. I'm sorry. I like Beijing Robinson. Don't get me wrong. I like him.
Oh, yeah.
But my problems ain't at running back. My problems is at quarterback. And I believe you can get some running backs in 3 and 4.
It depends at the free agency who's left.
Right. I mean, so I'm saying And if push comes to shove, I just bring back Jamal Williams and I roll back with Jamal and Swift for another year. I want defense, people. It's just that 6th pick, if I'm stuck there, I kind of want to get the guy that I think everybody's going to fall in love with. That's why the 49ers are going to have an ability to trade, because they can. Dr. Detroit says, I kind of agree with Luke and Adam. Either way, I'm not mad.
About what?
I know. I'm not sure which one he's referring to. So,
NC maybe?
What's the success rate of quarterbacks taken in the middle of the 1st round versus the top of the 1st round?
That's a good question.
It's a good question, because it also depends on a number of different factors. But one of the biggest things I like about the question, though, and shout out to you, Cap Ice Cold, for this one. The one thing I like about the question is simply put this. Usually in most situations, you're going out, those guys picking in the top, 10 of the draft are taking quarterbacks because they absolutely don't have anyone and the roster is not complete, right? But in the Lions case, you at least got something that the Lions can work with on offense, and you got a coordinator who you can kind of do some things with. And guess what? That quarterback that you take at the top don't have to play. You don't have to force him out there. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to do that. So that's a good question.
Yeah, I mean, also the other question is, like, when they're drafted in the later rounds, what's the number of those guys actually being your starter? You know what I mean? Not a lot of guys, like, they're drafted in the later rounds or even a starter or ever really get, like Jordan Love, Kyle Trask, guys like Jake Rudock, like later guys like that, and just never are the starter, just a backup.
Yeah, I mean, so like, question from Perry Ball is that, Luke, do you think the Lions got a deal they couldn't refuse for Goff? I think our general manager came in and immediately said that he's always had faith in Jared Goff, and he made it an emphasis to get Jared Goff, and then he made it an emphasis to surround and support Jared Goff by any means necessary, even at the expense of our defense. And for that reason, I judge him, and I'm annoyed that because of him, you guys wanted to fire the head coach. So
In my defense, I only judge. I didn't say fire the head coach. All I said was I need to see until the end of the season, then I will judge.
Yeah, I waved the white flag on him. Even though he had a good season this past season, that first season I waved the white flag on him. In the second season, I'm like, okay, good season. But yeah, I'm not extending him. Lions number 81 says, could and can the Detroit Lions extend Goff and still build a contender? Is he giving us a hometown discount?
I mean, it's not like it's impossible by any means. You can probably build a contender. It just depends on what you do. I mean, I've seen worse quarterbacks make the Super Bowl. Let's be fair. I mean, you can go through the
But see, it's not about if the quarterback can make it to the Super Bowl. I'm just asking the question of if you're extending him, your extension, if you tell me I'm extending for a year or two, I would be surprised if that happens. He's getting at least a 4-year extension. Are you okay with that? I'm not. I'm just not.
I'm not either.
Not when I can just be like, take that money and truly build around this younger guy with other pieces. I'm just not doing it. And by next year, you can then easily find receivers. Every year, people be doing crazy, but this is not a year to find a receiver, in my opinion, right? Like, this ain't it. One funky Lion fan says, trade back to 9 to 12. Take the cornerback you want. That makes most sense to me and get other assets. C. Perry says, sure. Chicago talking about trading Fields and drafting a new quarterback. I'll see it when I believe it. I'll see it when I believe it. But if that happens, ouch, right? And if that happens, this is one of the benefits of you drafting that guy. And because people right now are looking for mobile people, they'll fall in love with it. And if you go out and draft you the right quarterback, that same thing can happen for you. So shout out to my little homie over there, my man, Right or Wrong. What's going on, brother? Hope all is well with you and the family. Troy was the first overall pick. Joey Porter Jr., baby. I'm down for it. It says the only offensive player I take is a running back on day 3. I like McIntosh on day 3 for the pitch running back. Okay, or the Pittsburgh running back. I don't get time to spell his name. It's okay. But again, I'm only saying take an offensive player if you're stuck at 6 because I believe it gives you a little bit more value in terms of saying, you know what? What if I want to move on from Goff? I can, right? What if Goff decides that, hey, I want this big contract? Hell, okay. Well, now I got to move you because I still own your rights for at least, 2 more seasons. What if Goff ends up balling out and you really don't want to pay him and you just tell somebody like, hey, we can trade him to you and get something for him? I just feel like whatever it is cool, but I'm not keeping Goff for the next 4 seasons. I'm just not. Sorry.
I mean, like I said, you can still build around him and then trade up like you did for, say, Patrick Mahomes. There's ways of doing this. Like, if you have the team built like how Patrick Mahomes was and, like, every piece is filled, and then on his last year, move up, like, depending on how this draft goes, you can do it. It just depends. There's a lot of factors here.
But if you look at what they did, the Lions are doing something similar to what they did because remember they did do that and they was mortgaging their defense. And what happened? You had all this offensive help and power and you couldn't do crap because your defense, when it mattered, couldn't stop nothing, right? And then they started adding pieces to defense and sold out for defense, but then they started getting cheap on the offensive line. So, and this is what I learned from this is you have to create balance that allows for certain things to happen. And when you don't have that balance, you will suffer. And unfortunately, for a lot of these teams, including us, the Lions, we get tunnel vision on one idea, and it's not good enough for us to get the win.
Yeah.
Lions Fan Express says, do you think Brad Holmes continues to pick injured players, or is there more pressure to draft players who can help right away? Yes, I think he's going to continue to draft hurt players. Are you serious? What pressure? The Lions fan base has already crowned this draft a fucking success. Why would he feel a need to change anything? They've already literally crowned all of his drafts 100% A plus with the gold stamp on it. Like, yeah, he's going to draft more injured players.
Who's can't say it's a bad draft either.
Who's going to question him not named Luke? I'm just saying, like, yeah, he's going to continue to do that. Yes, 100%. I don't see any real logical reason in him doing something different.
Luke, it's kind of hard to question the guy when you got 2 of the best pass rushers and possibly one of the best safeties in this draft. I mean, you got to admit that's hard to top right there, you know? Don't get me wrong. I get it. Malcolm Rodriguez, not the best linebacker in the world, but again, you can't argue with the results there. And I know you're going to bring up JMO. I know you will bring that up, but I'm going to tell you this. Yes, you need a wide receiver. I've seen the core and I've seen what we're going to, and if we don't have Shark, odds are we're probably going to be screwed at receiver if we didn't have JMO.
Okay. Now, he don't have a problem with it. Lions Rumble 81 says Daniel Jones wants $45 million. Sheesh.
What?
So here's my thing. So
you're gonna make me get
here's my thing. If Daniel Jones is requiring that, what does Goff ask for?
I know. If he gets $45 million, oh God, the
what does Goff ask for? You ready to give up? You ready to get that kind of number up for a guy for the next 4 years? He's not taking no short end deal. Because the shorter the deal is and the more money you give in that short deal, the less cap you got. So at that point, you're dependent all on that quarterback. Who's doing that? I'll wait.
If you offered that to me for Daniel Jones, if I'm the GM of the Giants, I'd laugh you out the building.
But it may not be that crazy for him because what are the other options? Right? So I mean, you ain't got no other options. I mean, you're desperate. And if you're not, and also you got to look at it. Sometimes some things are just done for the purposes of trying to benefit the player. At worst case scenario, I make $45 million or more. Great. And if they don't give it to me, I get a chance to get the hell on and go somewhere where I'm valued. So it's cool. If you draft a quarterback, you trade Goff, you are paying quarterbacks too much money to waste letting him sit. So I thought about this argument before. Perry, I really have. I thought about this argument. You're wasting too much money letting them sit, right? So let me go to one of my reasons why I am team draft quarterback, and I'll explain to you. I just got to get to one quick source, okay? That's all I got to do. Get to this one quick source, and then I'll show you what my brain is at, and why we can do it. It's a little bit simple, right? For me, it's a little bit simple in the way that I'm thinking about this and how I'm viewing it. Okay, so
I think I know where you're going with this.
So let me try to. Okay, all right. I got everything set up. All right, cool. Here we go. So let me just take this down really quick. So and bring this up. All right. So the first thing I want to point out to y'all is this. All right. Jared Goff is signed until 2024.
Yeah.
Okay. If you take a guy 6th overall, he's sitting for one season, and we allowed a receiver to sit basically for one season, and not a person outside of Luke thought that this was a crazy idea. Outside of me, I'm the only one who said this is ridiculous to take a guy who can't help you immediately this year. And guess what? He still didn't help us really this year. And to the people say, well, he had 2 big plays, and that don't matter because the season was so long and he only had 2 big plays because he wasn't available. But by taking your quarterback this year, if Jared Goff goes out and perform well, you just trade him in 2024 with a package deal to get you more capital. And if Jared Goff doesn't play well, by God, you simply cut his ass and take your $26 million and save money to your $5 million cap hit. But what you got to understand is if Jared Goff goes out and have another season like he did this past season, you're going to get him a 4-year deal minimum. Which means he's your quarterback for the next 4 years. And so let's just say hypothetically, you were to sit that quarterback for the next 2 years with Jared Goff, right? You still have a 5th-year option in 3 years for that quarterback to play before you got to extend him. And yes, you may have to extend him on a shorter time, but guess what? Would you rather extend the guy who's 23, 22, 21, 20, or 25, or extend the guy who's 30? I would prefer to take the younger guy and extend him. On the other part of it, I want you to look at and take into consideration is this. How long is he really going to have to sit? Because you also have to take into account that if you extend Jared Goff after he has another season like this, where he's going to be going on 30, and you extend him, you need to also ask yourself, who's going to be the offensive coordinator? Because it won't be Ben Johnson. Let's put that in your pipe and smoke it. Now, I'm saying that because I'm trying to put this in a little bit of a more perspective way of it. If you go out and you decide that the best course of action for you is to say skip quarterback this year, when you come back in 2024, when the draft is in Detroit, I ask you, what record do you think the Lions will finish with? If your answer to me is 10 wins or more, then now I'm going to ask you, cool, what quarterbacks you think are coming out that's going to last long enough for you to be picking 25 to 26? So if I'm stuck at 6, it's simple for me. I take my quarterback now, and he sits. And on top of that, if for some reason Jared Goff is tripping, and they say he wants a big contract, or Jared Goff is on this, I need a huge mega deal or whatever he comes up with, I already have a guy who had a chance to sit with my coordinator, Ben Johnson, who now can get some basic skills and stuff like that. And when Ben Johnson leaves and I got my head coach who I'm keeping, I can already say, hey, let's make this transition over, and you might be a little bit more forgiving. But the reality is your current quarterback has this year and next year, and it makes more sense for you to move on from him, in my opinion. So if he sits for a year, big fucking whoop. I watched the receiver do it. I watched D lineman do it. And I'm okay with it at this point because I was forced and told that I have to be. There are reports that AR would be the number 1 pick. Whatever. And if he is, more power to him. That means other people slide down. Chances of you getting the trade gets better. But what we're not going to do is just act like we're going to stay at 6. And I'm asking people, at 6, who do you feel comfortable taking? Because I really don't give a care what position we take at 6 as long as they perform. But just so I don't have to hear y'all go, Luke, you crazy, you lost your mind. I'm telling you that if I'm looking at this odd situation and they do what I think they're going to do next year, you're not going to be in a position to get that quarterback that you think you're going to get. So you might as well take him now. That's all I'm putting out there. If they did draft a quarterback, that quarterback is definitely sitting this year out. Perfect. Absolutely perfect. As it stands now, the Lions have a top 12 cap space total for 2023 at around $18 million under the cap this offseason. Brilliant. All right, let's see. Make sure I don't miss nobody comments and stuff. You can question Holmes all you want. Just look really stupid doing it. Okay. I don't mind looking stupid. I don't say things to be right in the moment, or that I say things to tell people to use common sense. People wanted your head coach fired after they started 1-6, as if though this was a problem on Dan Campbell. Not the problem on the defense, but a problem on Dan Campbell. And your general manager came into a team that he knew for 3 years under Matt Patricia was hot garbage. And he put all his attention and focus on Jared Goff for 2 years straight. So 5 years of watching this hot garbage-ass defense not get anything done, historically giving up points on top of points, and you want to blame the head coach, that's your prerogative. I blame the general manager because there's nobody he added on that defense that you was like, ooh, keep. Just saying. So I'll look stupid. Take out all second-round picks, and he's the best. It can certainly grow. Let me see. It says, why can't Josh R. and Raymond take Chark snaps? Raymond plays well as a 4th or 5. I don't know. I don't think we need a receiver. I feel like with Amon-Ra St. Brown, with, Jameson Williams, I think we're in a good spot, and I don't think we should be taking a receiver. Receivers are coming a dime a dozen. You need defense. The first 4 to 5 picks should be on your defense. You need impact players who can play now. Starters, day one. They got to be for a special quarterback. I'm not drafting a guy at 6 just because your quarterback, what I need help. I understand what you're saying. I agree with that. If it's Bryce Young, CJ, I'm cool with that. Well, you got to also ask yourself the question: do you trust your general manager? So that's another thing. Ferg Arlison says, if Payne from the Commanders doesn't get franchised, we need to get the checkbook out. No, you don't. No, you don't. He's not going to make that kind of signing. Listen, y'all going to learn who y'all general manager is. In year 3 and 4, you're going to learn who your general manager is. I've seen it. I've accepted who he is. I would be shocked if he pulled a checkbook out for Daron Payne. Shocked. If we sign Bobby Wagner, Tremaine Edmonds, and acquire Jalen Ramsey, trade up for Jalen Carter, we would make the Super Bowl this year. I like that you picked the inside guy, a guy who can probably play inside, outside, and Edmonds. Ramsey, I don't know if I'm trading for him, but that wouldn't be enough for you to get to a Super Bowl. I don't see it. Because all them guys you're going to end up paying, and you're going to have to end up probably figuring out what you're going to do with the other players. You need a lot of talent, so I'm not going to kill it, Troy. I think it's a good idea in a way. I'm not trading for Jalen Ramsey, and I'm not that high on Tremaine Edmonds. You got to ask yourself the question, are they guys who are leaders who fit grit? Wagner, sure, but he's much older. He's not like how he used to be. Goff has high value in trade right now. Let's get young quarterback learn right away. That's all I'm saying. I feel you. Let me see. It depends on who you take with the 6th pick. You can't drop the guy just because he's a quarterback. That's how you end up with Zach Wilson. I don't think Zach Wilson, it turned into Zach Wilson because it's Zach Wilson. I think Zach Wilson turned into Zach Wilson because there isn't leadership to demand the attention of Zach Wilson. You see what I'm saying? You have to have people that's going to demand attention and hold you accountable. He hasn't been held accountable. And by the time he was held accountable, it didn't matter. If Zach Wilson went to, say, I don't know, Kansas City, if he went to the New England Patriots, or if he went to, say, the Titans, you think he could act like that? F no. Right? That's not going to happen. That's what I'm looking at. If he doesn't get franchised by Commanders, I offer Washington our 18th pick. You think that's all it's going to take? Gonna take a little bit more than that. I hate to tell you. I think that quarterback from BYU will be available in the 3rd. I think he is dynamic. Okay. And you're gonna be looking for a quarterback next year. You got to look at guys who I think fit what Brad Holmes' MO has shown. You're talking about a guy who went from David Boyles to Nate Studfield to backup, right? Who was like, hey, we can get this guy, right? You're talking about a guy who just sold out to get Jared Goff and sold out to maintain that Jared Goff is the answer. I'm just saying. The T says, hate it or love it, Luke is right. I just don't see why we're not talking about a quarterback when your quarterback is only going to play this year or next year, and he can be gone and not cost you anything. And if you're going to pay him, it's going to cost you more, 4 more years. Are you prepared to do 4 more years for Jared Goff? Dallas Cowboys are something they're ready to do 4 more years for Dak Prescott, but hey, what can I say? Laughing out loud, no, you are cool with it. When we are in win mode, I am good at quarterback, D-line, and cornerback. Let me see. If Stroud is there still, I wouldn't mind it, but he's the only one I consider. That's fair. If you feel like he's the end all be all, I ain't mad at you. Let me get down through these comments, though. I'm trying to get through them. Brad Holmes is a young GM learning, and he makes some mistakes. Hopefully, he can learn from his mistakes. I hope so. But he is not without fault or blame or anything. You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying. Giovanni Lyons II says, Luke, who won the Pokemon game? You or did the kid beat the brakes off of you? I won. At the beginning of the show, that's the first thing I pointed out. Them goddamn first gen Pokemon did the damn thing. And I'm very proud to say that the one that he had the most problems with was Charizard. Shout out to the Dragon Fire type. Yes, sir. I don't know what the Pokemon he had because these all look new to me. I have no clue who these things are or what they are. But yes, I beat him. In fact, he's down there right now trying to level up his little squad so he can get at me. And I'm already excited because I haven't even begun to level my stuff up. But hey, I got my revenge. Because I'm telling you, when he beat me, as much stuff as he talked, I heard that song, "Hello, Darkness, my old friend." I was like, what the hell? I'm getting snapped on by a freaking 7-year-old? What the hell is this? So, hey, it is what it is. But I did win that game. I'm excited. I think I went 3-1. So, not bad. You compare the two quarterback names, David Blau and Tim Boyle. I'm tired, bro. But yeah, David Blau. Yeah, he went Nate Studfield for David. He moved David Blau out of there for Nate Studfield. And I don't think nobody in here thought Nate Studfield was better than David Blau. When David Blau decided to go over to the Vikings and then went over to the Cardinals, he knew what he was doing. He wanted to go somewhere where he's going to get a fair shake. People are not just joining the NFL to get a check. People want to be great too. If Ben Johnson leads a 30 points a game team this year, when he leaves, he can trade for Goff, and we are set, especially if we draft a kid this year that gets it. If not, at 6, give me Hooker. I would take Hooker, but you're going to probably take Hooker in the second round, right? Which means your first 2 picks need to be on solid defensive players who can help you right now. And the question now becomes, who are you taking at 6? I like Hooker a lot. I think he's the most ready, right? Like, I think he's probably the most ready quarterback you can get. But the injury scares me to take him at 6. Then again, that fits Brad Holmes' MO any damn way, so why not, right? Luke, do you think Young falls to 6? Would you take him and start him right away? I don't care who the quarterback is there. If Bryce Young falls to 6, I'm not starting him. I'm just not. I don't have a problem with this. If they did start him, I ain't gonna kill him if they did. But to start him when you don't have to, and I know I can get rid of this guy next year and save me $26 million to support my new piece, yeah, I'm good. I'm good. Just saying. Yeah, win that game. Let me see. All right, I'm almost there. But those Studfield need comment of the day. But those Studfield kneel downs were perfectly executed, though. Facts. Facts. Hey, tell the truth and shame the devil. If you take a quarterback, take a chance on Hooker, and the second or third, if we get J-Mo sit, we can let Hooker as well. At this point, yeah. You want to let J-Mo sit, everybody can sit. But the question is who are you taking at 6? That's what I want to know, Ball. Who's the guy you taking at 6? Jalen Carter's not there. Who are you taking at 6? I don't see another Sauce Gardner in this draft. Not that I felt confident last year. If you look at my last final prediction, I had it down to Sauce Gardner and Kyle Hamilton based on me trying to predict who he was going to take. And I said, you know what? If it's me, I'm going to go with Kyle because I think you can get a little bit more versatility. And he went totally with Aiden. And I went, okay, makes sense. But we saw who won Defensive Rookie of the Year. And I don't care that he won it. I care that we played him and you refused to throw the ball at him. And if you was afraid to throw the ball at him, how many other teams were? So the victory formation was flawlessly executed. Yeah, better late than ever. Yep. They never see. I think Goff has definitely earned the 2023 season, but we definitely need a backup quarterback with starter upside. Yeah, that's all I'm trying to point out. Lad, don't doubt him to take a hurt player. Of course he is. That's what he do. Luke, did you see the Lions just signed a cornerback named Mac McCain? Is he good? He's a camp body. That's what he is. He's a camp body. The dude has played 2 games. He's not even a camp body. He's literally being brought in as a tryout. When free agency hit, you may look up and they go, oh, well, yeah, we're going to void that contract. He's here on a tryout basis. Good, bad, or indifferent. The dude played 2 games. Can't tell you more than that. Like nothing else. How do you feel about Tanner McKee? I like him. Problem is, I'm trying to draft what I believe can be something of the future. And I believe Tanner McKee probably could be that guy of the future. But if you're stuck at 6, who are you taking? And is Tanner McKee going to be better than these other quarterbacks? It's a question you have to ask yourself. Troy says, thank you for the stream tonight, Luke. Pride Nation, appreciate what you're doing. Thank you, sir. I love my Detroit Lions and talking football, and I love talking with you all because it's therapeutic for me. If I can't trade back, I'll probably go cornerback, even at 6. Porter Jr. and Trenton Simpson has been 2 of my favorite prospects all season, and we can get both in the first. Okay, I like Porter Jr. But just know, if you do this and you take this risk with the number of teams who need a quarterback, and all of a sudden you don't get the quarterback that you thought you could have gotten, understand that you're getting Jared Goff for 4 more years. Just saying. J-Mo didn't sit. Yes, the hell he did. What are you talking about? He definitely sat. The dude didn't play until December. Even after he played, they had to put him on a snap count just to make sure he was good. So he definitely sat. The season for the Lions ended in January. The dude definitely sat. I don't even think he had a start. I could be wrong, Dr. Pepperoni, but I'm going to double check. I don't think he had a start. Like, could be wrong. Could be understating this fact or whatever, but let me just see. I'll look it up and we'll know for sure. But I know he didn't play until December. He started not a single game. He played in 6. Right? He got targeted 9 times and he caught 1 pass. 41 yards for a touchdown. And he had 1 run of 40 yards for a touchdown. That was your first pick, taken 12th overall. And to be honest with you, you doing stuff like that, just take Hendon Hooker at freaking 6 and call it a done deal. He ain't going to play the first year no damn way, right? So just take Hendon Hooker. Call it a done deal. I want to trade out of number 6. You and me both. I don't believe in trading up. I think the trade-up idea is ridiculous. James Willis says, do you think Brad will trade up or trade down? He has to try to trade down or he's going to stay home. It's going to cost too much to trade up. Way too much. At Luke, what you think of Simpson football IQ? I'm saving the linebackers for a reason because I got to discuss a few names that people are going to be upset when I go, oh. It's the guy you blew my chat up about? Okay. All right. So I'm saving them for a reason. I can't answer that right now. I'm sorry. So do you think we will see Calvin Johnson coaching Jameson Williams this training camp? He's already been talking to him. He's already coached other receivers. That whole conversation is dead to me, in my opinion, because guess what? He can only show him so much. And at the end of the day, you know, it's only so much you can show the guy. My problem with Jameson Williams is in those few games that I saw him, I saw a guy when the ball wasn't going his way, didn't go hard. I saw a guy who had some diva moments. That's all I'm saying. I'm taking Hooker in a second. I love to trade back to 9 through 11 and take their second this year and use this pick around 40 for Hooker. That's not a bad idea. I'm just saying we already can go up the trend of what Brad Holmes been doing, which is getting hurting players and letting them sit. I'm just asking the question of, if Jalen Carter is not there, who are you taking at 6? I don't have a player outside of a quarterback, whether it's Hendon Hooker or somebody who I think he would take just for the hell of it, like freaking Levis, that I can see being worth making sense. So that's just me. All right, good people. I love me some you. You all have been absolutely amazing. The plan is to go live tomorrow with more prospects, and you know, maybe or maybe not, I'm gonna have a little bit different and happier review. But in terms of the Baylor D tackle Ikea, I can't take no more messages. I'm not even gonna respond to those. In case of Mazzie Smith, just watch how often he gets past the line of scrimmage. Watch how often he's winning those one-on-ones, those double teams. Watch how he's playing the run, how he's rushing the passer, and ask yourself, can you get better? And while you asking yourself that question, If you're not sure, I can give you a few names that would let you know that there's better out there. But y'all know me, man. I cannot end the show unless I do it on a positive note. And today's positive quote comes from me. Waking up is more important than anything. It's funny because this came to me because I've had so many people hit me up recently dealing with some stressful situations, and they're trying to figure out how to do some things and how to move things around so that they can be better, right? And I had to think to myself, if I had to tell them something positive, what would it be? And the answer is simple. Waking up is the most important thing. You can wake up and not have a house, but you got up. You can wake up and not have a car. You can wake up and someone you care about may not be there, but you got up. And many of you who don't understand how strong perspective is, let me put it into a deeper perspective for you. If I were to offer any of you $1 million right now, without cause or reason, and I said, hey, you can have this $1 million. And the thing is you can never talk to your best friend again or the person that's closer to you. Many of you would take that deal. But if I told you I'll give you $10 million and you can never wake up, many of you would not take that deal. And that tells me that perspective is that waking up is more important than $10 million. And people are going to say that, well, it's a redundant point, Luke. If you can't wake up, what's the point of you having the $10 million? Then you did get the answer. You did get the message, and you understood that the importance of waking up is where you are always going to be at your best. Even if you got up today and everything was falling around apart and all the things that you thought was going bad was still going bad, you got a chance to get up tomorrow and do it again. Do it all over. Do it different. And if that day ain't going quite well, then you got another day to wake up and do it all over again. But waking up is the most important part of it. And in many cases, you don't even have to fight to do it. Your body wants to be up. It wants to have you the chance to do something bigger, to impact this world greater than you ever thought. And it's not the big things. It's not out here giving out big money. It's not out here giving your organs up. It's you simply being human to other people. But at least you got a chance to wake up. So while you're sitting up there trying to figure out this thing called life, and everything seems like it's piling up on you, remember, you got up yesterday and the day before that, and the day before that, and the day before that. And for 5, 10, 15, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, and 70 years, you've gotten up. That's life's little message telling you that no matter what is tossed at you to knock you down, you will always get up. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, please hit that like, subscribe, notification bell. This video is sponsored by Man Hour. They are linked in the description, are associated with my channel as a feature channel. They also have the t-shirts that Stay Tomorrow Needs You, where a portion of that money, when you buy one of those shirts, go towards helping out the National Suicide Prevention Association, which also helps with paying for like counseling, hospitalization bills, and other things like that for those people who are battling this thing. So please show some love for me if you could. And if you don't do nothing else, ladies and gentlemen, nothing else, because you woke up and you was here, and I'm so happy to see every last one of you. I love it when y'all in the chat talking. It is the most amazing, special thing that could ever happen. Whether it was me and one person or me and 1 million, it is just a joy to know that we are all still here and get to enjoy each other. But as always, don't be no chump. Please do y'all research. I'll be back at it soon.